I keep thinking about the sheer audacity of this plot twist. For weeks, we have been led to believe that this was a straightforward negotiation, a simple transaction where Valentin uses the leverage he has to get his money back and secure his family's future. But guys, I am vibrating with a mix of shock, awe, and pure adrenaline because if my theory is right, we are about to witness the greatest power shift this show has seen in a decade. I can't believe I didn't see the signs earlier. The way he spoke about Wyndemere, the way he framed his desires, it was all too perfect, too neatly packaged for a man who thrives in chaos and shadows. I am sitting here feeling almost betrayed by my own gullibility, but also incredibly hyped because this is the kind of storytelling that made me fall in love with this show in the first place. I genuinely wasn't expecting that level of deception from someone who currently claims to be prioritizing love and family. It is a masterclass in misdirection. We are so used to taking these characters at face value when they have emotional breakthroughs, but this just proves that a leopard never truly changes its spots. The realization that every single move he has made recently has been a calculated step in a much darker, much more ambitious game is staggering. I am just overwhelmed by the implications. If this is truly what is happening, then every conversation he has had with Carly, every promise he has made to Charlotte is tainted by this massive overarching lie. It is brilliant. It is terrifying. And I am absolutely here for it, even as it breaks my heart a little bit. Let's talk about why this realization is hitting me so incredibly hard. I keep thinking about Valentin and his complex, deeply flawed history on this show. We have watched him evolve through so many phases, right? We have seen him play the devoted, fiercely protective father to Charlotte, the surprisingly tender romantic partner to Carly, and the man desperately trying to clear his name and escape the suffocating shadows of his Cassadine heritage. When he started talking about getting his frozen assets back and buying Wyndemere, it felt like a natural, almost poetic progression. It felt like the writers were finally giving him a true redemption arc, a chance to build that safe, idyllic life he has always claimed to want for his daughter. We wanted to believe that Wyndemere would be his sanctuary, the place where he could finally hang up his cloak and dagger. But guys, this is a Cassadine we are talking about. The expectation was that he just wanted his money and his castle back so he could play Lord of the Manor. But the reality is that Wyndemere is nothing but a massive stone-cold misdirection. It is a brilliant smokescreen designed to keep everyone, including us, looking in the wrong direction. The fact that I almost fell for it is what makes it so brilliant and so devastating. He is using our own desires to see him happy and settled against us. We wanted the fairy tale, so he gave us the illusion of one. But the black box is the ultimate leverage, and a man like Valentin isn't going to waste something that powerful on real estate. He is aiming for the throat, and the target has never been a pile of stones on Spoon Island. The real target is Jack Brennan, and the realization of what Valentin actually plans to do to him is shaking me to my core. This hits so hard because it shatters the illusion of the reformed family man. We have spent months watching Valentin try to navigate his relationships, trying to be a better man for Carly and Charlotte. But this theory proves that the ruthless, calculating WSB operative is still very much alive and in control. He hasn't changed. He has just gotten better at hiding his true motives. The emotional whiplash of going from believing he wants a home for his family to realizing he is orchestrating a hostile takeover of an international intelligence agency is intense. It completely recontextualizes everything we have seen him do over the past few months. I can't help feeling that this is the ultimate betrayal of the trust he has built with the people closest to him. If Carly finds out that his entire crusade to get his assets back was just a cover for a massive power grab, it is going to destroy them. And Charlotte? That poor girl has been through enough without finding out her father is secretly plotting to become a shadow dictator. The stakes are so incredibly high, and the potential for absolute devastation is what makes this storyline grip me so tightly. I am terrified for the fallout, but I also cannot look away because the sheer scale of his ambition is mesmerizing. I love this storyline. I really, truly do. I love that we are getting back to the core of who Valentin truly is. A master manipulator, a brilliant strategist who plays 4D chess while everyone else is still trying to figure out the rules of checkers. Watching him maneuver Brennan into a corner using the secrets hidden inside that black box is television gold. The tension is palpable, and the intellectual warfare between these two titans is exactly what I tune in for. I love seeing Valentin operate at the height of his powers, using his intellect and his ruthlessness to outsmart a man who thought he was untouchable. It is incredibly satisfying to watch a villain get outplayed by an even smarter, more cunning anti-hero. But I have to admit, something still bothers me deeply about all of this. I am so intensely frustrated because a huge part of me actually wanted the fairy tale for him. I wanted him to just take the money, buy the estate, and live happily with Carly and Charlotte. I hate that he can never just settle down. I hate that the intoxicating allure of power and revenge is always going to pull him back into the darkness. It is exhausting to root for a character who constantly self-sabotages his own peace for the sake of a vendetta. Why can't he just let it go? Why does he always have to prove that he is the smartest, most dangerous man in the room? I am sitting here cheering for his absolute genius, but at the exact same time, I am screaming at my screen because I know this path is going to bring so much collateral damage. It is a brilliant twist, but it is also a tragic reminder that a scorpion will always sting, no matter how much it promises to change its nature. I am so mad at him for risking everything he has built with Carly, for risking Charlotte's stability, just to settle a score and grab more power. It makes him feel so human, so incredibly flawed, but it also makes it so hard to defend him. I am constantly at war with myself when I watch him, loving the drama, but hating the inevitable heartbreak that is going to follow. If you ask me, looking at Valentin's actual endgame, I understand why he is doing it, but I still think that was a massive mistake to play with fire like this. Let's really break down the judgment here, because this isn't just about getting even. Valentin doesn't just want Brennan's money or a simple, clean victory. He wants to absolutely decimate the man. He wants to use the explosive secrets in that black box to force Brennan to resign in disgrace or completely lose control of the WSB in Port Charles. And honestly, I think that is a terrifyingly cold, almost sadistic move. I understand the desire for revenge after everything Brennan has put him through, the betrayal, the constant threats to his loved ones, the manipulation. But to strip a man of his entire empire, to systematically take away his network of spies, his covert operations, and the massive influence he has spent a lifetime building, that is a fate far worse than death for someone like Jack Brennan. Valentin knows exactly what he is doing. He knows that to a man like Brennan, power is worth infinitely more than cash or property. By forcing Brennan to stand by helplessly and watch his own empire crumble to dust, Valentin is inflicting the maximum amount of psychological torture possible. It is a masterstroke of cruelty. Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe Brennan deserves every single bit of this. But I think Valentin is crossing a moral line here from which he might never be able to return. He isn't just surviving anymore. He is conquering. And that level of ruthless ambition is incredibly dangerous to everyone around him. When you start playing God with international intelligence agencies, you are no longer just a guy trying to protect his family. You become a global threat. I judge him harshly for this because he is using the excuse of protecting his own to justify a massive, ego-driven power grab. He is masking his dark ambition as necessity, and that level of self-deception is exactly what makes him such a compelling, yet ultimately terrifying character. He is playing a game where the board is the entire world, and the pieces are human lives, and I just don't think he has the right to make those calls, no matter how smart he is. This brings me to the absolute most agonizing part of this whole situation, and guys, I honestly can't decide how I feel about it anymore. The internal conflict I am experiencing as a fan is tearing me apart. Part of me desperately wants to believe that Valentin will know when to stop. Part of me wants to believe that once he neutralizes Brennan, once he secures his family's safety and gets his assets unfrozen, he will walk away. I want to believe he will finally be the man Carly and Charlotte need him to be, that he will buy Wyndemere and just live a quiet life. I want to hold on to that hope so badly because I have invested so many years into watching him try to be better. But another part of me, the cynical, longtime viewer part of me, thinks that this is just the beginning of a terrifying new era for Port Charles. If Valentin successfully ousts Brennan, there is going to be a massive, gaping power vacuum at the WSB. And who is perfectly positioned to step into the shadows and pull the strings without ever holding an official title. Valentin Cassadine. Another part of me thinks he is going to become the very monster he is trying to destroy. I honestly can't decide if I am watching a tragic hero making a necessary sacrifice or a brilliant villain slowly taking over the world. I am so incredibly torn. I want him to win. I want Brennan to pay for his crimes. But I am absolutely terrified of what Valentin will become once he holds all the cards. Will he be able to resist the temptation to use that WSB network for his own gain? History tells us no. History tells us that a Cassadine with unchecked power is a recipe for absolute disaster. The struggle is real, guys. I am sitting here wanting to applaud his genius, but my hands are shaking because I know that the cost of this victory might be his very soul. It creates a feeling that is so very human, wanting the best for someone, but knowing they are fundamentally incapable of making the right choice. Am I the only one feeling this way? Seriously, guys, I need to know what you think about this massive, mind-bending misdirection. Do you actually believe Valentin is really just after Wyndemere and his frozen assets? Or are you with me in thinking that he is secretly plotting to take over the WSB and destroy Jack Brennan's life piece by agonizing peace? I need to know if I am completely overthinking this or if you guys are seeing the exact same terrifying brilliance that I am. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm wrong, and he really is just a misunderstood guy trying to buy a house. But I can't help feeling that Port Charles is about to change forever. The stakes have never been higher, and the game has never been this dangerous. Guys, what do you think? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your own frustrations in the comments below. Let's argue about it. Let's analyze every single look Valentin gave in that episode, because I absolutely cannot process this level of drama alone.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.